Win, lose, draw.
Chelsea, I think, have definitely been culprits of the transfer flop. Like we just discussed Torres.
Definitely.
That era of Chelsea where they just shelled out money. And one they shelled out in 2008 was for Andrei Shevchenko.
Yeah, I thought it'd come up.
And so at the time, 30.8 million in 2008. Granted, what Ronaldo had not even gone to Real Madrid yet. Probably you're looking at like 50% of the world transfer record
Yeah.
on a
And
striker.
was that from AC Milan?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that was when Milan had a really good squad around that time.
Yeah. I think it must have been because he was in AC Milan teams against Liverpool in Champions League. To Chelsea. Oh, it was in 2006. Sorry. So then it was 43.8 million euros,
Wow.
which at the time, I guess Zidane, I think, was the highest. Zidane or Kaká were the
Yeah, that
highest
sounds
transfers
familiar.
then, and that's not far off what they were. So that is ridiculous. He'd been smashing it for Milan. I think that Champions League team, the Milan team, was just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Went to Chelsea, and kind of what sums it up is he went back on loan
To Milan.
to Milan 2 years later. And then Milan did an absolute job on Chelsea, to be honest. So they got him on loan. So sold him for 30 million, basically. Got him on loan 2 years later. And then he ended up decided he didn't really do what he used to do, decided we're not going to buy him. And then he went to Dynamo Kiev on a free. So I think
Back home to Ukraine.
part of that flop is they didn't get any return on the money at all. They've just lost all of it.
Yeah.
And so he got 4 goals in the 06-07 season and 5 goals in the 07-08 season, which
In
throughout the
48
time,
appearances total.
yeah, it's
9 in 48. It's not
9 in
great.
48 for arguably one of the greatest strikers of the time.
Yeah.
For what was a huge amount of money at the time as well. He's a big flop. And a little research. He comes top of a lot of articles.
Yeah, I did notice
Biggest
that.
transfer flops. I think he's a bit
top
of a
of the
poster boy
flops.
for it. Top of the flops. Video title. I like that. A lot of time for that. Right, who's your next one?
I'm going to stick with Chelsea one, actually. I'm going to go for Morata.
That's a good shout.
It's maybe... he's not like a mega flop, I'd say, but considering he's trying to fill the boots of Diego Costa,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how much they paid for him, but coming from Madrid as well, he did not do that well at Chelsea.
Yeah, he's been quite an interesting one because he's played for big teams, but he's always kind of been like that. Basically, the reserve
Sidelines,
striker.
yeah.
He's always been the sub.
Is it Juventus and Real?
Yeah.
But only 15 goals for both, you see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like he's always been thereabouts. But yeah. So it was 66 million euros he went to Chelsea for.
Blimey.
Which I imagine that's like 55-ish, 50.
Yeah, roughly.
58 million. 11 goals from 31 in his first season. You can be like adapting to the league, kind of fair.
Everyone gets adapting to the league.
Yeah, you're allowed that. And then he only played 16 times in the next season. 5 goals. So his record's not horrendous. Like what a goal every 3. It's the price tag that really.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you're paying 55 million for a striker, you want a goal every 3 games. Yeah, I think so. I've got a couple more Chelsea, and I think
I might know where you're going now.
Yeah, so
do a little Chelsea session.
I've got one more current and one a little bit older, so I'll stick with the current. I think I'll go for Kepa, who's the biggest flop of a keeper, but like I cannot think of anyone that's a bigger.
I mean, the price tag alone.
Yeah.
The world records.
He's still the most expensive keeper.
It was like 78 million or something.
It was, yep, roughly that. And it was a panic buy because they sold Courtois on deadline day, and then I think he was at Bilbao, and I think it was Bilbao, and then well, he's just been useless.
Yeah, he's not been great. I just
He had a little bit of leeway. Like at first, he was like, he's young, he's coming
yeah,
into the
yeah,
league. And then he had that drama where he refused to get substituted in the
yeah. I think that was a mistake
yeah,
from him.
the League Cup final. Again, you could be like, he's young, he needs to learn, but then he's not backed up with performances.
Exactly. If he'd gone ahead and like smashed it, then fair enough. But you can't do that when you're like up and coming keeper. Like they spent all that money on you. It's not like you're Buffon and you're just telling everyone else what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And he's I think it shows Chelsea was all their spending, and they still were like, right, we're getting a keeper in as well. We need to get a keeper in, and the second they did, it was just like I feel like Chelsea just felt a lot calmer.
Yeah.
And Mendy is a third of the price of Kepa, maybe even less.
But I think the thing is, well, they can't shift him now, can they? Like, 'cause no one's going to want him.
No,
They're not going to get any of
unless
that money back.
make a huge loss on him.
Yeah, but I mean,
not,
you wouldn't pay 30 million for him, would you?
no, not at the moment.
But it's difficult, isn't it? Because if he'd become the best keeper in the world or top keeper, you would be saying, "Oh, it's money well spent."
Yeah,
But
like Alisson, like
yeah,
when Liverpool bought Alisson, which was about a week before Chelsea bought Kepa. It was
yeah,
like, that is crazy money. And then a year later, we're looking back like, oh, it's fair enough. They bought
yeah,
probably the best keeper in the world at the moment. Whereas Chelsea took a gamble, spent more money, and he's just nowhere near the standard they need.
yeah.